Imagine you're completely focused on something. Maybe you're reading, working, or scrolling through your phone. Then suddenly, someone taps you on the shoulder. Your entire body jumps. You react before you've even figured out who touched you. Why do loud noises make us flinch? Why do we jump when something catches us off guard? And why does our body react before we consciously understand what's happening? The answer lies in one of humanity's oldest survival systems, the startle reflex. Most of us experience it regularly, but few of us stop to think about why it happens. Every time you startle, you're experiencing a survival mechanism that has been helping humans stay alive for thousands of generations. The startle reflex is a fast, automatic response to sudden and unexpected events. It happens before conscious thought has time to catch up. You don't decide to startle, your body simply does it. Most startle responses involve rapid blinking, neck movement, and shoulder contraction. It's one of the fastest reactions the human body can produce. In fact, even newborn infants display versions of this reflex. It's built into us from the very beginning. Many different things can trigger it: a sudden noise, an unexpected touch, something moving rapidly towards your face. The important thing to understand is that your brain isn't trying to figure out exactly what happened. It's buying time. The reflex occurs before you've identified the situation. Your body prepares for action first and asks questions later. That might sound inefficient, but from an evolutionary perspective, it's actually a brilliant strategy. To understand why, we need to step back into the world our ancestors lived in. Imagine walking through tall grass thousands of years ago. You hear something rustling nearby. Maybe it's the wind, maybe it's a harmless animal, or maybe it's a predator. You don't know. Now, imagine spotting sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A branch falls from a tree. A snake moves unexpectedly across your path. A predator emerges from cover. For most of human history, failing to react quickly could have serious consequences. Natural selection favored individuals who responded rapidly to potential danger. This led to a simple but effective strategy. It's better to jump unnecessarily 100 times than fail to react once when the threat is real. Psychologists sometimes describe this as the smoke detector principle. A smoke detector occasionally produces false alarms. Why? Because missing a real fire would be far more costly. Human brains evolved in a similar way. Our threat detection systems are biased toward caution. They would rather overreact than underreact. As a result, many harmless events can trigger the same systems that once protected our ancestors from predators and environmental dangers. Today, a ringing phone might startle us. Someone unexpectedly entering a room might startle us. A notification sound from our phone might startle us. The situations have definitely changed. But much of the underlying circuitry remains remarkably similar. So, what actually happens in the brain when we startle? One important structure is the amygdala. It plays a major role in detecting potential threats and emotionally significant events. It acts as part of the brain's early warning system. The brain stem is also involved. This region helps produce the rapid physical components of the startle response. Because these pathways are so fast, they can activate before conscious awareness fully develops. At the same time, the sympathetic nervous system begins preparing the body for action. This is the same system involved in the fight or flight response. Heart rate may increase, muscles may tense, attention narrows. Your body shifts into a state of heightened readiness. One of the most fascinating aspects of the startle reflex is that the body often reacts before the thinking brain catches up. You've probably experienced this yourself. You jump, your heart races, and only a moment later do you realize it was just the cat walking across the room, or a friend entering the door, or a harmless object falling off a shelf. The reaction comes first. The explanation arrives afterward.
Oh.
Not everyone startles to the same degree. Some people seem to jump at every little sound, while others barely react at all. One important factor is anxiety. When someone is anxious, the brain often becomes more vigilant. It scans the environment more frequently for possible threats. Stress can have a similar effect. When the nervous system has been under pressure for long periods of time, it may remain partially activated. In other words, the body is already prepared for danger. Trauma can also influence startle responses. After frightening or overwhelming experiences, the brain may become more sensitive to unexpected sounds, movements, and situations. Poor sleep can contribute as well. Sleep plays an important role in emotional regulation and nervous system functioning. When we're exhausted, the brain often becomes less efficient at regulating stress responses. As a result, we may become more reactive. The brain adapts to the environments it experiences. Sometimes those adaptations remain active long after the danger has passed. The startle reflex isn't only about predators and physical danger. Humans are social creatures. Our brains constantly evaluate the people around us. If someone suddenly touches your shoulder, your brain immediately begins asking questions. Who is it? A friend? A stranger? A family member? A threat? These assessments happen much faster than we realize. Even waking a sleeping child demonstrates this process. As the child transitions from sleep to awareness, the brain rapidly evaluates the environment. Where am I? Who's here? Am I safe? For social species like humans, quickly identifying other individuals has always been important. One of the most interesting aspects of psychology and anthropology is realizing that modern humans are carrying ancient brains into a very different world. Today, we're surrounded by notifications, alarms, messages, alerts, and electronic devices. Most of these stimuli didn't exist for the overwhelming majority of human history. Yet our brains often respond to them using systems that evolved long before smartphones, computers, or even doorbells. The nervous system doesn't always distinguish between a sudden notification and a sudden environmental disturbance. Both are unexpected, both demand attention, both can trigger elements of the same response. The result is that ancient survival mechanisms continue operating in modern environments. Your body is doing something it was designed to do. And in many ways, every startle response is a small reminder of our evolutionary history, a glimpse into the ancient survival mechanisms that helped our ancestors survive long enough for us to be here today.